wait, what?
You're like,
I almost got him.
I was like, whoa. He's like, when you said woman in crisis, I
just didn't stick the landing. That's all.
I was like, what? I was like, wait, I never brought up but I straight up was like, how did
you
this
did
happen?
say I wasn't a real man and that I'm a coward. You did say that, though.
You did say that.
I didn't string it together as well in my
end. The way Logan did it, I was like, oh. I was like watching a car crash because I was waiting for it. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, it's going to happen. And, like, you're watching a car drive past and then you see the car just sort of skid and, like, kind of pull back in again. Yeah, that's sort of what it was like. I was like, oh.
If you're just tuning in.
Perfect.
No, Howard, take it back. It started exactly where you wanted.
No, if you're just tuning in, this is where we're starting the show. What?
What?
If you're just tuning in, I'm your host, Logan. Thank you, Claire.
Good job.
And this is the Milk and Toast podcast. I'm here with two of my best friends. Say hi to the people, Mitch.
I've been foiled.
Say hi to the people, Claire.
Hi, guys.
What do I usually say after this? I don't know. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
Wow, this is Orkies. So.
Oh yeah, Claire's supposed to say something anyways. Fuck it. Professionalism
off the charts out here. Yeah. Be sure to follow us, like us, and whatever else it is. I guess. Share. What is this? So there's subscribe.
Follow, like, share, subscribe.
No, not doing something. Get the fuck out.
Okay.
You're right about share, but it's follow, like, and then it was subscribe that I was trying to remember. But you were like, share. Tell them to share it. I was like, I know, it's my job. Anyway.
That's right, Claire. It's your job.
You should still share there.
Exactly.
On all of our social medias and on anyway, you can get a podcast plus YouTube's. I guess it's YouTube social media. That is a question I have been begging for a really long time. And no one answers me because no one knows.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Well, that's what they would say, kind of. They never say yes or no. Like, I mean,
well, because you comment and you talk to people on it, so it makes it social.
Yeah. That's pretty social.
Yeah, but it's also entertainment because you watch stuff.
Content.
All social media is entertainment.
Content? Yeah, because you can produce content on social media.
Okay.
It's social media, not just social. I'm mad we did that at the same time. Claire, you keep going. I'm going to try to get whatever demons inside of me that has me imitating Logan.
Yeah.
Good job.
The ones I put in you.
Claire, I'm sorry.
It was so visceral and like body.
Go ahead, Claire. Go ahead.
Say it. Come check us out on all of our socials and on anyway you get a good podcast. Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted by Mitchell's exorcism. This is a mess. I'm sorry. But yeah.
Yeah, that's
fine. Would like you to come check us out. Yeah, we're going to leave it here. No, yeah,
that's good. Yeah, we're good. You guys know where to find us, and just find us. Yeah,
just
do that.
Google it.
Find us, all right? You know our name, goddammit.
At this point, if you're listening to the show, just be like, bug your friends about it. Like, I keep saying it, and you don't do it. Stop. Just do it. Just send it to your friends already. Send it to your grandma.
Logan has control issues.
Why their grandma? Why?
Yeah, that poor grandma has to listen to us talk about like butt stuff. Like, fuck off. No, it's bad enough. Why would my family listens?
You mean you live 80 years on the earth and you don't believe in butt stuff? Stop it.
No, it's not that I don't think that. I just think, they don't like hearing other people talk about it. Because I sort of don't like hearing other people talk about it sometimes.
They came from a different time, and while they're old and now don't give a fuck, sometimes you're stuck in your ways.
But they're the original butt stuffers.
I don't know about you, but I'd really rather not think about.
I mean,
really not think about.
I was like trying to think of the sentence. I was like, I guess.
Yeah.
When you make the sense, I was like, yeah, that is
their
true.
Their ancestor butt stuffer. That's who they are.
And I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm good.
It is fucked up. I hate this. Let's move on.
Yeah.
You were supposed to ask us how we are.
Why are we so weird about like old people having sex?
Can you just ask us how we are and we can move on, please?
I just want to know.
It's not about the old people having No, actually, you're right. It is about those people having sex.
It is about those people.
I don't want to think about this, please.
So, okay, but here's my honest answer. So,
okay,
I know that's one day I have to die, and while that terrifies me because I love to live and appreciate the gift of life, the fact is I am more okay with that, which I'm okay with, than I am with the aspect of actually getting old and not being able to function as well and deteriorating. That aspect, I actually don't really enjoy. So I guess it's because I look at that and I was like, oh, I don't want to imagine that. And then having to think about the sex between actual old wrinkly people, and it's like, I'm okay. My head
went so like visual and literal when you said.
Oh, my fault.
I want to be hot and old.
Everything went so.
Which is what I'm shooting for, which is why I take care of myself. Because we're the generation that can do that. We're taking way better
those
care of
old
ourselves.
dudes, but they like still got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's how I want to look.
Old women, like people, you can age well, and that's what I want to do. Yeah. But our society has been geared towards not that, and so you end up with the vision we have of old people. But it's changing, which is good. I just don't like the slowing down. And I'm like, why? God, I'm okay with just dying. Why you had to age in here? Like, if it's my time to go, it's time to go. Okay, but like, why we had to age and shit, bro? Like, that's all.
Shit breaks down.
Why? I'm not gonna stop being, and I'm gonna be mad. I'm mad about that, and I have no problem having that conversation with divinity eventually when it's my time, and just being like, yo, so about the design. If I'm being real about it, I have no problem whatsoever. I'm a loyal spiritual warrior. A loyal spiritual warrior to the divine. But nonetheless, I'll be like, yo, so about that design.
Beautiful, perfect,
you know that time
everything.
where you had the liquor hit me so bad at 18 that I nearly died and thought I didn't want to live anymore? Is there a reason you let that shit happen? Like, I couldn't just turn that off? Nah.
I could turn it off.
So about this aging shit, by the way, I miss my knees. I'm glad they're back now, you know, in the afterlife and whatnot. You know, paradise is great and whatnot, but you know, that shit was not cool, bro. Like,
you'd probably say something stupid like you lost your knees so you could appreciate them now or some dumb shit like that.
Well, never mind. You appreciate some knees when you don't have them no more.
Mm-hmm.
Why y'all trying to take away my knees, Italian mobsters? Jesus Christ. Oh wait, no, that was a bad joke. I said from the 40s, but still.
Claire's right.
Wait, but
how are you guys doing?
Yeah, right. Now you see. Now you see.
Yeah, fuck off, bro. We don't fuck with you no more. You don't care about us.
Well, we were just talking about old people sex, and you know, that's interesting.
Cash cow. Ew. Stop trying to bring that back, bro. Why do you keep trying to talk about this?
No, you know why it's interesting to me? Because
Claire started humming. Like,
I think it's interesting to me because the reason why I think I've talked about it on 2 shows now is because I just imagine a day when I'm going to be old, you know? And I just think about, you know, me romantically with somebody, you know, like that's part of it, you know? And so it's just kind of beautiful, I think.
All right, so because he tried to touch some weird heartstring and the deep, dark pit that is my heart.
He tried to touch a heartstring, but like the heartstring's over here and he's like over here. He's like,
to be honest, I thought it was kind of touching and I was like, oh, I didn't want to be touched by you and your old people sex, bro. So get the fuck off. That's not touching me today.
Just
let's look at the real picture over here. He's trying to talk about the fact that he wants to fuck when he's 80 and he's not sure if he can and he doesn't like it. Let's look at the reality of it.
Damn.
Damn. Yeah, I just caught that. What the fuck?
You. Sorry. Claire. I'll pull it back.
Why wouldn't I be able to fuck when I'm 80?
It's cool. It's cool. I'm just like, damn.
I'm going to fuck when I'm 80. That's going to happen.
If your dick work, yeah, sure. Why are you dragging me into this?
I'm going to do it whether my dick work or not, to be honest.
I don't want
Okay. All right. I'm with you in spirit, but I don't know how that would work.
I don't want to talk about your 80-year-old
Put that shit on a splint.
Oh man, none of this scripted, but there are just moments where you just gotta wonder, bro. Yo, my man said put that dick on a split. Straight face, bro. You ain't lying though. Shit, you ain't lying. Yeah, you know what? It's getting used until I'm dead, so we gotta put it on a split. Get put on a split. Oh man, yo, that took me out, bro.
That was like the greatest thing I've ever said.
Oh my God. I'm so mad because that entire conversation has to stay in the podcast now. Like, I'm so mad.
That's gold.
Oh my God.
I wish you recorded the video so people could see your face when you
I
say
know.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck are you? But then you finished what you said and I died. I was like, oh, nah, man. Air. I need air. Oh, God.
Godfrey.
Bro, that was hilarious.
Oh my God.
Hilarious. Yo, I'm disgusted, but that was fucking hilarious, man.
Stop it so you're making it wet.
Sorry. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna let it go. It's gonna die. It's gonna die.
I can't come down.
Let me change gears.
I've got the giggles. Ooh.
Mitch, you want to talk about how a 9-to-5 basically sucks your soul out if you're a creative, or really otherwise, to be honest.
Man.
So
the truth is, yes, otherwise, and I want to talk about it because for whatever reason, somehow, and I think we've talked about capitalism and socialism and stuff like that to an extent, not really deep, but it's like we haven't brought it up. And it's like we've all had to work jobs, work 9-to-5s. We all feel like we're suffering, like we're just being sucked away from what we actually want to do in this life to keep this fucking soul-sucking machine prosperous for whatever reason. And me and Logan, we live in America. I live in New York City, where the hustle and bustle is necessary to keep America's economy alive on one level. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't even dislike the job that I'm currently working at right now. That's how bad. Let me tell you how much I don't dislike my job. I'm literally up at like 6 a.m, hate it. To get to work at 8, which I also hate. And then I'm at the job just sitting there like, I'm like, wow, like we're really getting some shit done. All right, I got to get all this done, move all this. And I'm like, yo, I'm being paid decently, but I'm not doing it for the pay. I'm doing it because like, I like appreciate that my CEO on one level who like hired me, who saw who I was and was like, yeah, we'll hire you. And he's like a really respectful dude, down to earth. And like, I respect that. And it's like, you know, you're helping me pay my bills. Why am I not going to help you pay yours in one sense? So I'm at work, like actually enjoying getting it done because I don't feel like I'm being used in one sense. I feel like there's a mutual understanding and I enjoy that. But then it's just like, I'm sitting there like, damn, I wish I was doing something else.
Right.
Damn, yes. I wish I was somewhere else. Damn, this is a lot of time just for me to live a decent life. Mind you, I'm probably going to have to work more hours if I want to build that life. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, and so that's just the start. like I told you, I don't even hate my current job. It's actually for what I had gone through. And I told you guys, you know, losing one job off some bullshit that had nothing to do with me, which was ridiculous. Being able to luck into another job that I thought I was going to be like, oh shit, I hope I don't hate this. And I'm like, you know what? This isn't so bad. And I'm still just sitting here like.
What do you feel like is the most draining part though? How does it actually like suck your soul out? Like, what's that about?
Being there, period, and knowing that despite the fact I'm doing good work that's helping businesses, I'm there doing something that I don't per se want to be doing, helping the capitalist machine that keeps me from doing what I want to be doing. And the thought and feeling and sentiment never leaves my soul, whether I'm happy in the workplace I'm at or not. And it's just the fucking worst feeling ever. I don't dislike any of the people I work with. There's a little bit of like, some like catty stuff that I guess that happens in the workplace, but it's like so minuscule. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even faze me. You know what I mean? Right. So it's just, but I'm just sitting here like, damn, I'm not acting, am I? I'm not working on music. Shit, I'm not even working in a job that I would per se be doing if I had the opportunity to choose. I'm just lucky that I don't dislike it. You know what I mean? And I'm just sitting here like, damn. Like, we really give a lot of time to someone else when you think about it. And it's like, how did it get set up that way? And then you could talk about that history. Because, I mean, from the Industrial Revolution down? Imagine being a fucking 12-year-old during the Industrial Revolution.
You'd be in child slavery. That's your life.
Yeah. That's what life is like. I love how and it's like,
you'd be a child slave. That's your life.
And it's like, look how much better things have come, but then look at how much still like perseveres from a time with sentiments that should be all right, dead.
How do you guys figure that happens to people? Like, how do people get caught up like that?
You don't have a fucking choice when you live in New York and you got rent to pay.
I think it's more than that too, though. I think you don't really have a choice depending on where you're born. I think some people, I think a lot of it does have something to do with classism in the sense that, like, if you come from money, you have better chance at gaining money, you know what I mean? So you don't have to work as hard. So you know what I mean? You can be, like, all these CEOs at 30, they didn't come from places we came from where we had to, like, get a job at, like, 14, 15 and work until we, you know, got to where we are now, you know what I mean? They don't have to stress about things like their homes and their food and their families and whatever else. So I think classism plays a really big role in that because, as you were saying, like, I'm sure your CEO boss person is really lovely and it's nice that he's giving you this opportunity and you want to help him. I'm not trying to take away from that, but he's in that position because he either worked for it or he was born into it. You know what I mean? And that's how I sort of see the world. I'm not saying I'm not saying he was either one because I don't know him, so I don't know him either way. Yeah, but he either worked for it or he was born into it. And those feel like the only two options, you know what I mean, to me? Mm-hmm. I was definitely not born into it.
Me neither. Yeah. But I'm working for it.
I think we forget.
Oh, me neither. I'm not rich either. Yeah. I'm not. I just noticed how not saying anything would have been a bad thing at that point.
No, I'm on it there.
Hey, no. It's like, Logan, you have a show. No, it's not like that. Stop.
and it's like, no one even, and it's not even like a hate thing, because if you were born into money, we also can't hate you for that, because you didn't even ask for it technically.
It's actually a lot more simple. Like, a lot of people put a lot of emotions into each side. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Do you want me to keep talking? My bad.
Oh, no, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry,
a lot of people put emotion in. After last week, I'm a little bit more like conscious of what I'm doing.
You seem good now. You're good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
anyway, Mitchell, shut up. Okay. I don't know what to do when you react that way.
No, you didn't hear what I mouthed, but I was like, because once again, I was like, I thought you was good last week anyway. I didn't even muffle. So we're gonna talk about that later. I'm coming back to what we're talking about now. Keep going.
So, but my point is, like, a lot of people put emotion into it, like they hate people with money and stuff like that. When in reality, I think it's just how it is. And like, if you're gonna hate someone, hate the system that started all this years and 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 years ago. And that's why I think classism plays a big part in it, because you've also got the race elements, you've got the like area elements, like southern versus northern, and you know, different countries, like ways of how they do things. So there's just lots of different elements that build this all up, and it's really simplistic to be like, you know, not that I'm against what Mitchell's saying, but it's simplistic to be like you're against the 9-to-5 grind, when some people the 9-to-5 grind is how they survive, and for some people the 9-to-5 grind is sort of what they're choosing to do because that's what they feel like is the norm, you know? So it's like a whole thing. But I get like where Mitchell's coming from about how it can be draining. I think it's draining.
I used to think about that
specifically as an artist, but I do think it's still draining. But specifically as an artist,
that point that Claire just brought up, though, that like this is like how people live, you know, that's something I thought about a lot when I was working, because, which I'm going to go back to work soon, but like in this period I'm not working, but like when I was working, that's something I used to think about. Like, my goals extend outside of this place, but this is a place also where people are working and this is their goal. Like, their goal is whatever next step the company has for them. Yeah. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that, but it was just something that it made me think all the time. And it made me think about how much I didn't want to be there. And yet I didn't want to feel like, it made me try to like it was an exercise in like humility for me, because I was trying to humble myself and not like look down on people about like, hey, this place sucks. Why don't you see it sucks too? Why are you just like going along? And like try to think about, listen, some of these people, like they've had their dreams or this is their dream. You know what I mean? And so like,
if that's the case, yeah.
Yeah, it might not sound like it, like you might not think like your coworker at McDonald's or wherever else, or Target or whatever else, like actually wants to be there, but some people actually do want to be there. And I think that's okay. You know what I mean? I think one of the biggest problems though, like what Mitch say, is like you have to be there in a way, because like when it comes to like a 9 to 5, you kind of don't have a choice, because you need to survive. You know what I mean?
Well, you do, but the choice is either, depending on where you live, either working the 9 to 5 so you can financially support yourself, or I hope you know how to survive in the woods, or if you can I'm not kidding, because
I don't think it's honestly, the woods. I don't think you got to get that.
Well, to be honest, hear me out, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, mind you. To be honest, I think that's how we're meant to live anyway. You should have basic survival skills. You should know how to build a house. You should know how to sew your own clothes. You should know how to hunt for food. Those aren't, we nowadays think of those as like, oh, those are some extracurricular shit. Like, no, that's actual survival. Not the having to build money, which has become that's actual survival.
No, I hear you. Yeah.
But then, to be honest, and you could argue, but to me, that's just facts. That's legit. That's legitimate survival, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. So it's either your option is doing that, or living out in some place where you can survive like that because you know how. But if you're a homeless person living in like Chicago or something, how are you going to survive where there are no trees to grow fruit or animals to roam for you to hunt anyway? You can't even collect rainwater, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like your options are to really go work a 9 to 5. And so personally, I do think it's draining on multiple levels, only because in America, I think in general, as we're consciously developing as human beings, we're starting to realize like there's no reason to really be doing this. We're pushing this agenda for this economy thing. And it's like, why do we value this? And that's something which burns in my heart and infuriates me with the heat of like 1,000 suns, that people could literally look at pieces of paper and value that over their own lives, over other human beings.
Well,
it just never makes sense.
No, it really just goes back to what you were saying though, is that like, unless you're talking about, I think you're talking about like billionaires here, but like it goes to the point where like, our communities can't really help each other out anymore, because there's so many people that's trapped under like a system that if you don't go to work today, you're not eating tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like taking a day off is a big deal here, because like you take a day off, you miss that day of work, and you're just like, how's that going to set me back next week? Like, how's that going to set me back for my bills? Can I afford this? Am I going to be able to eat lunch if I do this week, because I know I'm going to be missing this out of my paycheck next week? You know what I mean? So like if things are like that for like, there are a massive amount of people that are like living like this, and this is not an everyday thing for a lot of folks. If you're like living like that, it is like, how do you help somebody else? And that's when people do find their way to help other people and they're in this situation like that, or they're in that situation, like it is beautiful. But then I kind of hate it when it becomes like the memes or whatever on Facebook or like the videos of like, this community helped each other out and they don't have anything. It's like, yeah, but like maybe we should help that community out so they can have something. Like, so they like, like maybe we shouldn't just keep voting against like, bad minimum wage laws and shit like that. Like, or voting for bad minimum wage laws, let's raise like people's pay out here, because like they probably wouldn't have to do that. They probably wouldn't have to have fundraisers for this and that and the third if they actually had the money that like they needed to like not just survive but live. You know what I mean? Like we're so focused on whether or not you're surviving, and then like that's where the conversation goes a lot of the time when it comes to wages. Is like, did you eat today? And it's like, yeah, but I ate a peanut butter sandwich. Like, it's just like, I barely ate. Like, and then you wanted me to take that same body that's nutritious like that and work for you for like 10 hours. and then like wonder why I didn't show up the next day when I'm like sick as a dog because I don't have the right nutrients in my body to build the right immunity in my body. So like I can like work for you. You know what I mean?
And that's the problem because it's not, the fact is it's not conducive for you to better yourself. It's not efficient enough for a person to be able to do it while simultaneously like making sure they can be the best version of themselves that they can be. If you're even motivated to do that in the first place, because it's not like society builds you to want to be that person anyway. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why it's draining is because depending on the work you're doing, it could be taxing either physically or mentally. So you get home, you don't even want to do nothing other than eat, go lie down. To sleep. I've been getting scared because I be coming home and I'm just like, I feel so exhausted. I'm like, what the fuck did I even do today? I was sitting at a computer all day, but now I'm just also mentally drained. It's
because you're doing mental work all day. Yeah. And like people say
you're being switched on all day.
Like, exactly. Yeah. Like everything you do mentally, it matters to somebody. And so that puts an extra pressure on you that like I can't fuck up whatever it is I'm doing. This isn't nonsense I'm doing.
Like, so you're like switched on alert.
Yeah, man. And so you get home, you're drained, you don't want to do anything as a regular person. Now let's talk about it as an artist, because that was what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, go for it.
It's draining in general, but now it's so good. What? Sorry about what? The point is supposed to take time.
I'm not sorry, Mitch. There you go.
You know what? All right. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome for that.
You're welcome, motherfucker. Yeah, take that shit, nigga.
But so now you're me and Mitch. Sorry.
What? No, you can finish.
No, you talk about something actually important. Leave me alone. You talk about you. You're actually smart. Go ahead.
So are you? Last I checked. But so.
Damn.
I know. She's like, no, the fuck, I'm not, you stupid bitch.
Mitch, like, what are you trying to say about the creatives of the Soul Suck Cycle?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there in my time. I'm gonna get there in my time. But so now you're an artist. You're an artist, and creativity and creation on an artistic level requires energy, physical, mental, and if you're really great, spiritual energy to a caliber. I don't know, to a caliber of a really, really skilled fucking tradesman. This is your craft, you know what I'm saying? And so now you're getting home, you're drained from work, and you're like, I have to find the energy, the spark, the muse to even get up and like create something. And then mind you, I was lazy before, don't get me wrong, because I've been feeling like I have to get so much shit right. But now I'm just like, and it's just thought in my head, I was like, shit, bro, am I going to be good to even create at this point? Which I think to myself, yeah, because, I'm that fucking G, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's scary. Like, well, I got to use it now more than ever. But because it is scary. Like, you feel so drained that maybe you don't want or even have the capability in the moment to go write a 16 for some music. Maybe you were supposed to go, act in something, but now you're like, where's the character really at? Fuck, I'm really off and I'm not finding what I would usually find because that extra energy I was needing is not there like it usually is.
What Mitch is talking about is like, how do you break out of like the capitalism cycle, right? How do you break out of that thing?
And work for yourself in one sense.
And then, work for yourself, or like, how do you be creative for yourself, or just do things like produce for yourself in a way that is fulfilling to your own life, when you're trapped in that cycle. Even, like that's what I mean.
If you're an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So
but please carry on.
And I don't know, it just struck a chord with me just in listening to you talk about that, because you're like, how do I come home? Like I was thinking about while you were talking, I'm like thinking about how when I was working at Staples, I'm watching myself eat like shit every day. But I'm also tired as shit every day. So it's like I don't have the energy to make a meal for myself, right? But I'm also watching myself get fat. And I'm like, now I'm not fat. And I won't say that like that or like disparage anybody who is. But it's just like for me and how I run my body, I know I'm not doing it the way I like to run it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm like, I'm watching myself get out of shape as somebody who's always been like an athletic type person, because I don't have time to be like running around and shit outside. But also at the same time, like, but when I'm done with my job, I come home and I'm like, fuck, I'm tired. Like I'm tired. I've been lifting boxes and dealing with Karens all day. I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, let me eat like some junk food or something. Let me eat chicken nuggets for dinner and then go to sleep. Now, this is not like helpful to my body, but it's like, it's what I got, you know? And it's kind of fucked up that that's kind of how we end up sometimes. And then like, I thinking about like, my favorite thing about Instagram should be like the show and everything, but it's not. My favorite thing about Instagram is every Sunday, even though the show comes out every Sunday, even if it's not intentional, the show comes out every Sunday. The show comes out every weekend. Let me say it like that, but it really comes out every
Show's
Sunday.
on Sunday.
No, don't say that. I want it to be on the weekend, and I don't say that. But my favorite thing about Sundays on Instagram is watching Mitch party on Hot Honey Sundays. Like, that's my favorite shit.
I haven't even been out, but I went on the boat trip. Yo, shout out
He was
to
on a
Hot Honey
boat
Sundays.
on Sunday.
Yo, I was on a motherfucking boat. It was lit. I'm not even gonna lie. And I had a pretty girl with me too, and it just felt good.
You did? You didn't post that shit. You gotta post that shit.
Or it didn't happen.
Whoa.
Yeah. What? Be like, hey, look at her. I'm doing like well. That's what you gotta do, you know?
She doesn't have an Instagram, so I guess I wasn't thinking about it. Maybe I should have. But I also don't. I'm just not like that. You don't go like showing.
No, I know, because I'm low key about mine too. Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Logan, you are not low key, but okay.
I am. Check my. I'm not gonna say anything. What I'm gonna say though is that my favorite part of the weekend is like that, because like Mitch is like having a ball. He's like,
I need it.
He's going buck wild on Sundays, guys. And the funniest, like, what somebody could say to Mitch, and this is what I kind of wanted to talk about too, is like the toxic reverse of like anti-capitalism, is that like what somebody could easily say to Mitch is, listen, I know you talk about being a creative, and I know you talk about how hard it is to do the 9-to-5 thing, but like you could have used your Sunday to write a 16. You could have used your Sunday to do this and that. Now, I'm using Mitch as an example, and Mitch, I'm not the one saying that to you. I wouldn't say that to you. And this is why I wouldn't say that to you, because that's really fucked up to say to somebody. Mitch works really hard, period. Right? He goes to a 9-to-5 job that's not
Claire
hard.
Logan's defending me.
I know.
That's not easy to keep up. That's not easy to keep up, right? He goes faithfully to his job, and Mitch, as far as I know, shows up on time, because like as long as I know, as long as I've known Mitch, right? When it comes to time, like, that bitch don't play. He doesn't play about his time. Okay. So Mitch says he's going to be somewhere. That's where he's going to be. So like, I feel like Mitch can't like even cheat on a girl, because like if he had a girl, right, and then like another girl wanted to cheat with him, he'd be like, well, what time you trying to like hook up? Because like at 3 o'clock I gotta do this, at 4 o'clock I gotta do that, and like, you know, I know you're talking about 6, but I'm not really gonna be available at 6. You know, it's like that's how Mitch is with his time, right? So if somebody like Mitch, who is like time master, can't find time to do his creative pursuits, I'm not going to disparage him for like finding like 2 or 3 hours on a Sunday to like go party, because of the fact that the amount of time that he spends working is draining, to the point that if I told him to just go do his creative pursuits on that same Sunday, right, he would die. Like, he would die.
Don't say it like that.
No, I say that like that because like people kill themselves all the time from overworking, or they overwork themselves to death. And like doing creative work
in the streets in Japan.
I know,
and
that's
like,
real shit.
Yeah,
like it's actually it's normal. Like people just drop dead from being exhausted,
or they go into the forest and kill themselves, and that's a real shit. That's not me being funny or anything. That's real. That's real stuff.
They had to stop that.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Mitch, like the thing that we don't talk about as much about capitalism is like what we consider productive and what we don't consider productive. And creative pursuits are one of those things that we just don't consider like actual work, right?
Yeah, no one stops asking for it ever.
Yes, right?
Literally,
you won't stop
ever.
watching any of your favorite shows. You won't stop consuming music. You won't stop looking at art.
Ever.
You won't stop like trying to get into the Met for free. But the one thing you will do is tell an artist that what they do isn't real work. Meanwhile, like the amount of time and energy it takes for an artist to create work can be like hours, days, weeks, years sometimes to finish a piece.
Sometimes to finish a piece.
And then when we look at other people, what we say is, well, you can just quit your job. You can just make time for this. You can just make time for that. You shouldn't be playing video games. You shouldn't be like partying on Sundays, the hot honey Sundays and shit. It's like, how the fuck can you say that to people? You made the system this way. And if you didn't, you're just like a bootlicker. You made the system this way where people have to literally work till their knuckles are bleeding. To death.
Yeah.
And
to live up to your standard.
And they're supposed to not find any type of relief or release from that? You're a monster. Shut the fuck up. Like, shut the fuck up. Leave Mitch alone. Let him have his hot honey Sundays.
No one's saying you can't have his hot honey Sundays.
I know. I'm saying that, but I'm
just
saying that. But I'm saying that because I brought it up. So it's like to the same person who would be listening and be like, maybe he shouldn't be partying. Maybe he should be writing a 16. Maybe he should be like acting or some shit. I
feel like it.
Yes, let him do that on his time. Like he will figure that out. Don't tell people that they have to take their leisure time when this world like really works hard to make sure you don't have any, even though it makes like you work at leisurely pursuits and like gives you like this undetermined date that you're supposed to have a vacation. You know, don't do that to people is all I'm saying. Don't do that to people and stop telling people to like quit their jobs just because like they're like you quit your job and now you made a YouTube channel. Like stop doing that shit to people. You know what I mean? It's not easy to transition into your creative pursuits. I think about every day, how am I going to do this show while I move to New York? Like I'm trying to prioritize the show, and it's like something that I do like in a way that's like, how am I trying to say this? Every week, I swear, like this for the last 3 weeks, I probably haven't said it, but like every week, I swear, I say to these guys, this is a real show, because I'm trying to convince myself that this is a real show. Because I know how easy it is to stop doing a creative pursuit. I'm trying to like convince myself and like convince them so they can keep showing up because they are also in the cycle. I'm in the cycle. So it's like I'm trying to convince our brains that this is a pursuit worth pursuing. You know what I mean? Creatively. And I try to make it as light and fun as we can for like even subjects like this. But this is what people have to go through to do it. And I feel like people should talk about that more. Like stop telling people that, oh, you don't like your job, just quit. It's like, I have to eat. I don't like my job, but I picked my job because I had to eat that day. You know, I can't just quit my job. It's like even me trying to figure out like how many hours I can work and do the show, or like how many hours I need to work to make the show even better than it is. Scares the shit out of me. Every day it scares me because I know the amount of time that I need to take to like put the show on, but then I'm not going to get paid for that time. So like, where's that money coming from? You know what I mean? And then the dreams I have for the show don't allow me to monetize the show the way I want to. So I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm not going to have everybody get paid like $5 an hour for the show. Like, and then we only do the show like three hours a week. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? So it's like
$5 an hour.
Yeah, it's like what?
Damn, that's better than our wages now.
If I gave
Claire's like, that is true.
If I give Mitch and Claire like $15 a week for the show, these bitches not gonna stay here. They're not gonna like that.
$15 a week.
Yeah.
Oh man, yo. I mean, we multiply that by 52. Hey, Claire, what's that math? What's that math, Claire? Hold on, let's do that math.
We get back
goddamn.
pay.
Oh, $15 a week. Yo,
probably.
That's still $780.
I'm trying to figure, but what my point is about all this, I know I'm going on a little bit of a tangent.
Woo,
it's
just catching a raise, Claire.
My point is, it's just that, everybody has their own pace of doing things, and we need to let people do that. And working a 9 to 5 sucks, especially if you're a creative. Like Mitch is saying, it does suck because when the fuck are you going to have time for yourself? And that's something that we just literally have to figure out, like what sacrifices we got to make and things like that. But while you're in the middle of it, I'm so sympathetic to like somebody who's really in the thick of it. I'm so sympathetic to somebody who has like a creative song or something in their heart, and then they have to go to a job that doesn't give a shit about that and just do something that's completely opposite or sometimes anti to what you actually want to do in your heart. I'm so sympathetic to like being in the land of, I don't know how to transition into my dream. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, that's a good way of saying that. How do I transition into my dream?
Yeah. So I will forever defend Mitch and his hot honey sundaes forever. And whoever else has a hot honey sundae, I defend you too. That's all I got to say about that.
Shout out to Hot Honey Sundays. Every Sunday in Greenpoint, usually from like 2 to 7 for the hot honeys.
I'm gonna come out there one. I'm gonna come out there. I'm gonna definitely come out there.
I'm gonna take my $5, get on the plane, and come play.
Yeah. See what happens when you get a raise? Oh man. But yeah, man, it just. I could complain about it for hours because it's just like, but it just makes me sad because it's that capitalist machine, and it's how do you break something that one has been around longer than you, and that too, which is the other part, is habitual. This isn't just about I know I have to make money. The fact is, it's habitual, and I don't mean that just for us. I mean in terms of the generation. We inherited this habit of, you got to work hard, you got to work yourself to the bone in order to actually be successful.
Because there was a time when you can work hard and you can just like go and transition to something else. Actually. But when they started like devaluing just work and not paying people what they owed them, and they just slowly kept paying us less and less and less, and just saw that we just kept fucking taking it. We just keep fucking taking it. We just keep fucking taking it. And then they just make sure that the tax burden is on us and not them. It's like, well, like Grandpa doesn't understand that little Jimmy over here doesn't have the same amount of money. He's not making the same amount of money as he was. You know what I mean? You had the money to like save up and then do something else, buy a house and stuff. Like people can't even buy houses anymore. It would take, I remember watching this thing where like these people were trying to save up for a house, and they was like, good luck with that, because like the news was like saying that like it would take them like 200 years to get like a mortgage or some shit. And I was like, whoa, what?
You saying that their descendants would have to buy their house?
Yes, exactly.
Oh God!
So I'm like, listen, this is astronomical shit you guys are talking about. It just makes me so frustrated. It just makes me frustrated. I hate it because it's so improbable and impossible, the situation that we put people in, and then we have to be snarky about it still yet. And that just makes me want to punch somebody in the face. That makes me want to hit somebody for real.
So
we should move on to I don't even know what we're gonna move on.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to
we have a lot of deep topics today. You know what I mean? We got a lot of stuff to get to. Like, there's an earthquake in Haiti. The Taliban's taking shit over again. Like it's 2001 all over again. Like,
God damn! And it is 2021, so that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like.
No, they've been plotting. They've been like, no, we are going to come back. No, let me stop.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. And I was like sounding more Russian than like.
Yeah, I know.
Afghani.
What was that?
I was like, what the fuck am I doing? But I didn't want to just be like, because that'd be like messed up.
That is fucked up. I can't believe you did that, even though it was fucked up.
Well, because you just have to do the vocalizations, which I fuck with heavy.
I'm not.
But yeah, it's like 2001. And then 20 years, and we got Osama, so they've been mad for ever.
Mitch is Osama. The only person.
Can we no? I don't like Mitchell talking about this.
I know. Mitch is the only person I know that will put his foot in his mouth and keep chewing. He just fucking chews on this shit.
I mean, obviously there's no foot in my mouth. I said what I said.
See what I mean? He doesn't even know it's there. God. He doesn't even know it's there.
He just swallowed a fucking toe.
He'd be like, what is this? This is great.
Is this my foot? Oh man. Oh man. But
let's talk about expectations in relationships, because I feel like
it's a little bit lighter.
Yeah, it's a little bit lighter. And I feel like
then what we just talked about, or the Taliban? Because obviously,
oh my god, leave the Taliban alone.
I'm just gonna keep bringing it up now. Sorry. No, I'm playing.
No, I have some things to say about that, but let's talk about
do we mean all relationships, or are we talking about romantic ones?
Romantic ones.
All right, so then I'll leave that to y'all mostly. Well,
I mean, you had a little bit of a romance on Sunday.
I mean, I have romances all the time. It's not the point. I don't. You know what? I'll wait. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what we have to say.
How is your dating life?
Right now, a little dry because I just.
Dry? You just met the Hot Honey at Hot Honey Sundays.
No. That's like a friend, and we went out and it was cool, but it wasn't really a serious thing. And she's seeing somebody, but or at least she said I don't know, but yeah, that wasn't a serious one. But there's a few here, but we're talking about expectations.
I like how that's that really should be a shade on Mitch, but he turned it on a shade on her.
Well, no, it's no shade. Bitch lying. I just don't actually know. If someone were to be like, "You sure, Mitch?" I'd be like, "I don't know, bro." I don't know. She could think I'm an axe murderer and was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna let him get close." I have no idea. But
I hear that.
But yeah, I mean, it's because there's still things to be said. Because even before you get into relationships, certain things are expected between. For me, between me and a woman that I'm supposed to do, or in some cases that men want women to do, which I think is all bullshit, but that does happen. I do understand that.
What do you expect out of a woman in a relationship?
To be herself, respect herself, and respect me.
All right, that's light. It's hard asking Mitch that question. He's right, because you gotta be in a relationship.
To need more than that. But
you're not supposed to, but
But you do.
You do.
And hence we wonder why I'm single.
Things change.
All of a sudden, I was good with just your love and kisses, and then it's yo, we 30, and nigga, I want a house. It's all right, bitch, why don't you go buy a house then? and then all of a sudden you rude.
Yeah, you rude you without a girl and a house. So you're like, shit. Guess I'll take my rude ass over here.
You know what, man? I got my blanket in this street, damn it. Shit. Yo, God, please. I'll never say it.
Claire. Yeah. You're sitting pretty. Claire, why don't you tell us what you expect out of a man in a relationship?
Imagine, what is that face?
So that face happened because that question is so far back on my radar, in the sense that I've been in a relationship for almost 6 years now, so I don't even think about that. I don't even, that's so not a question that's relevant to me. But at the same time, I guess I can answer it in the sense that what Ben brings is. He's calm when I'm psycho. He's friendly when I need assistance, but I'm too much of a bitch to ask for it. You know what I mean? He's my opposite, and he supports me.
Mm-hmm. Just keep talking about Ben.
If you didn't know, guys, if you didn't know, Mitchell has a secret crush on my baby.
I don't have a crush. You just don't understand romance. You just don't understand romance.
Every time Claire describes her relationships, it sounds like goals, don't it? It just sounds like the best relationship in the world.
Look, we have our troubles. I'm not going to get into it because obviously privacy.
Yeah.
We're not perfect. work it out. Like, I think that's something that I really do stress. Like, people always get mad at me because I'm that friend, that friend that's been in a relationship for 6 years, and it appears I have it so easy because I've been in a relationship for so long and it's like so solid. But like, I always just say to them, like, you just got to talk with them, and if they're not open to communicating, then they're not it. You got to look at yourself, you got to evaluate yourself and make sure that you're communicating. And if they're not communicating, you got to try and communicate that with them. And if it's not working, then it's not working. You know what I mean? Like, you got to sort of just let shit go.
Right.
The other thing is, I always try and see it from his perspective a lot. Because, like, for instance, this is just a really small example that, like, stupid. He was super cuddly this morning. And I was like, get the fuck off me. I have to get up. I'm not, like,
How dare you not cuddle Ben?
No, I
like,
feel
I was done with his shit. And then I thought about it and I realized that, like, he hasn't seen me properly in like a few days. Like, he hasn't had any like real contact with me in a few days. And I was like, oh shit, I'm a bitch. So I was like, I went back and I was like, I love you.
No, that's real shit. No.
I think it's important to like, but my point is, you got to try and like see it in the shit. It's like, yeah, it's annoying. But when you actually stop and you think about it for 2 minutes, you realize how they're feeling. Yeah. And like where they're coming from.
Yeah, and you still have to respect people's boundaries, because that's one that really hurt. But I don't even still kind of get it on one level. But, that's another thing to deal with. Like, there are certain boundaries that get drawn from the beginning. And as Claire's talking about, even still... Oh, my fault. My fault. There are boundaries that get drawn, like, in the beginning. But even still, when you're getting into Claire's levels, you can navigate the boundaries a lot easier, thank God. But it's like, they're still kind of there. And there's still things you have to respect about each other. Like, Claire don't like being touched in the morning, maybe. But Ben's like, bitch, I miss you. And Claire's like... Oh, okay, all right. All right. Yeah, don't do that shit again, Claire.
This is where those bottom jokes came in. I hope you realize, so I'd be careful if I was you.
I'm not scared because I know who I am. Yeah.
Mitch just reminds me of like the Igor album from Tyler the Creator. He's like he's like just sneakily being like, wouldn't it be better if you were with me? Like,
why you gotta ruin this for me, man? Why you gotta make this strange? Everybody's always gotta make this strange.
But what about, okay, I want to talk about like long term like expectations and stuff. Like Mitch.
Okay.
Let's say you ever do get a girlfriend.
What do you want to talk about long-term expectations?
Yeah, like let's say you ever do get a girlfriend. Like,
okay,
like do you want kids? Like, do you want to be married? Like, what do you want,
bro? I don't give a fuck about marriage. I wouldn't have my children suffer existing on this planet, so I'll think about it when I get there. Those aren't questions I tend to think about heavily because I'm too disgusted with the human race.
See, that's an important question to think about, though, before you get in a relationship, is whether or not you both want children, though. But
now understand, if the thing is, though, that's with the type of person that I am, like, and if I really love, the woman that I'm with, if she's like, yo, Mitch, I really do want kids, I'm not the type of person who would be like, oh, I'm against kids because I hate the world. It's like, oh, all right, well, I love you. I'll do my best to make sure our child grows up. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like,
is that you buzzing, Mitch?
Best. Oh, sorry, that's my phone fucking.
God dang, pick it up, man.
Well, I didn't know it was buzzing so loud. I can't see who it is, but I'm in the podcast, so people gotta wait.
Yeah, there you go.
But that's not a thing where it's like, and this is me at like 29. So I guess now I'm getting to the point where I should be thinking about kids, and so I'm starting to. But like, I'm aging really well, and if I have to have a kid like at 35 or whatever, I'm not stressed about it. But it's like,
I'm stressed about it.
It's like, well, when I was young though, people used to be like, yeah, kids, and I used to be a kid like at 18, like, why the fuck you talk about taking care of children? You don't even take care of yourself yet.
Right, you like eating gummy worms right
people.
Now.
Like, the fuck are you talking about, bro? And as I got older, it was like, and y'all know the joke, like, hey, so what age do you think you want to have children? It's like, I'm going to have children when I am financially financially stable years old. How about that? I think that'll be the best time for them and for me. Cause I know it wasn't the best time for my folks. Like, thank God for the love.
I don't know if I want to have all my children when I'm financially stable. Cause that seems like a long time to wait. But like, I mean, yeah. I mean, like, one of them's got to be poor.
Well, financially, no. One, don't say that. I'm not letting you do that. I'm not letting you put that in the universe. Don't you do that to poor, whatever your child's name is. Don't you do that. Don't you dare fucking do that. First off.
It doesn't make any sense. One of them has to starve.
Yo, this man says like, nah, one of them got to be poor. That was his like, that was the part of Logan who's just like, nah, fuck them kids, man. I ain't have it easy. Like, nah, you gonna know the value of a dollar.
I don't think you're ready for children yet, Logan. I think we should. Yeah.
But financially stable doesn't have to mean like $250,000 in the bank. If you're working a job where you could legitimately and you want to do that, go ahead. I'm sorry, Claire.
Claire, what?
No, I was just saying I'm gonna talk next. This is what this means. Did you not know that?
I wanted to ask you though, Claire. Claire, I wanted to ask you, do you guys want kids?
Damn, I do
that is okay. So that's where I'll start with what I was going to say first, because it does sort of lead into that question. I think it's more than just being financially stable, but mentally stable. I am not mentally stable. I was like pulling out a friggin' clothes horse the other day, and I was cursing up a storm, swearing, kicking shit. And then afterwards, I turned to Ben and I was like, I can't have kids. Imagine a kid like just being innocent and watching that. Like there was so much anger just being thrown around the room. And no, but seriously, think about it.
Yeah,
like how many times did you watch your parents crack the shits and like internalize that intensely? Like,
have you ever thought about the trauma your parents gave you? Just not the violent kind, just the trauma you kind of experienced through just watching them deal with their shit and being hurt by it.
I think about the trauma that my parents put on top of me. But I also think that, like, you know, I don't know. I feel like that people say things like they don't want to traumatize their kids the way their parents did, and they don't want to bring their kids into a world that's like, you know, as chaotic
and then traumatize them worse.
Yeah, and do all that. But I feel like, you know, we're here to like, you guys already know my motto and philosophy is that like we're here on this planet today because we're meant to be, and so therefore we're here to deal with the problems and issues that come up in our time, right?
Okay.
So that means that, you know, we need to be dealing with those problems and issues as best we can, but also on the other hand, like kids are life. So I don't think life should stop just because like we haven't fixed like the greatest problems in our lives or the greatest problems in like
I'm sorry,
our
just
societies.
a counterpoint. Mm-hmm. How can you bring a child into this world when you are not 100% sure there will still be a world for it to live in? How can you bring a child into this world to deal with the mess? You know, as millennials and Generation Z peoples, we always complain about what the boomers did to the world, what the boomers did to the economy, what the boomers did to like everything like that, and the generations before us. How can we bring a child into this world when we stand here upset that we got brought into this world? You know, we haven't fixed it yet. So how can we bring someone in when we haven't fixed it yet? Don't you think that's unfair to that child to have them live in a world that's dying?
I think while that joke is funny, I think it's
not a joke.
It is a joke.
It's not a joke.
No, I mean, like when people are like, when people are like, it's not fair that I'm here because like somebody fucked in 92. Like, I think like that's a joke, right? That's what I'm saying. Okay, and I think that like
in a literal sense.
Yeah, but I think that like in a literal sense, then that is a little morbid. I think that we can't just like stop having people just because like, well, we fucked up. I feel like that is actually like counterproductive to like the issues and the problems that we face today, because of the fact that it's almost like we're throwing in the towel and throwing our hands up about the issues. Like if we can say that like the world isn't worth living in anymore, then like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are right. The planet's fucked. Let's go to Mars. And then on the other hand, it's like saying, well, if we're not even worth like having children anymore, then like why should we stop pollution? Why should we stop like the like global warming? Why should we stop racism? Why should we stop sexism? Why should we stop all these things if we're like so fucked? No, it's not good for us anymore. It's not good for us because we're fucked anyway.
Right, I'm going to stop you right here just because. I'm just going to stop you right here.
No one said we're fucked anyway.
I need to like say something.
Sure.
this is a topic that is going to get me incredibly angry. Like, here's a heads up. Like, I'm going to get incredibly angry. So if I need to stop, you need to tell me to stop, first of all. Sure. Second of all, I think it's beautifully idealistic of you to think that way. But at the end of the day, we're on a steam crash course to death as a planet, no matter what you say, no matter how idealistic our views are. The world is, the planet's dying. There's no stopping it. We could have fixed it in the 60s, decided not to, 70s, decided not to. We're at the point where we don't have a lot of time left as a planet, as like a planet. Like, the planet will rebuild, but humans are gone. Humans are done for. Like, unless we do go to space, that is facts. That is scientific facts.
That's not just the facts. That's like, well, it's an estimation.
We are on that crash course.
It's an estimation, and yes, we are on that trajectory.
I ain't having a baby on an estimation. I'm not bringing an innocent child in. I know that sounded like a song, but I don't know. I'm not bringing in a baby on an estimation.
Baby on an estimation.
My thing is, it's like, yes, maybe the planet's fucked in the next 20 or 40 or 30 years.
That's that child's lifespan. If you have a baby now,
that's half that child's lifespan. That's half.
Yeah.
But my thing is like, it doesn't have to be that way.
And it's going to be a miserable life.
Yo, that'd be. Sorry, I mean, y'all seen? No, it's okay. Y'all seen Interstellar? That's not even a joke. But it's half that. But the thing is, and it's not even about like, because the crash course we're on it. The thing is, we don't have to be. We could be doing things to prevent said crash course.
No, apparently we're done past that. Apparently we're past that. Apparently there's nothing we can. No, I read this study. I'm being serious. Like, I'm not trying to be like.
I want to read it.
I read this study that said that we're past the point of fixing it.
No,
can we slow it down?
That's not true, though. Like, there is a study that says that.
How do you know it's not true?
Because there were other scientists that said that's not true.
Where is your study?
There were wait, where was yours? I want both your fucking studies. Thank you. God damn it. I'm not kidding. I want both of them. I want to read them both.
I said, where's your study first?
We cite sources on this podcast.
I know you did, Claire, but this isn't preschool. I still need your study, too. In order to compare and contrast.
I don't have it on me.
Anyways, what I'm saying is that, like, you don't know. Like, a meteor could hit us tomorrow. Like, to just say that the planet is over is not a good enough reason to, like, stop living. I think, like, the core of my argument is not just that we shouldn't have children anymore. Living?
Which is a fair one.
Well, it does kind of equate to living because,
not
like,
to me.
Well,
at all.
Can you let me explain what the fuck I'm saying first?
No, you fucking queever. I don't even know what the word was. I don't know what I was going for. New word alert. New word alert.
Hold up.
New word alert. Queeber.
This very serious discussion has taken a pause. What is a queeber?
Queeber. Definition.
Queeber. Yes.
Really stupid, kind of gross person, you know.
Is this like an act? Like, is this an
act of taking after a queef, but not actually being one? Use it in a sentence. Man, Logan was being so stupid the other day and acting so, like, kind of gross that I thought he was a big fat queeber. Now a word. Done.
This word has gone from queemer to queever to queeber.
I said queeber.
Like the last 5 minutes.
I said fucking queeber. Oh, spell it. Queeber.
I'm glad he used the double E's. Like, I thought it had 2 E's too. Like,
Shakespeare, motherfucker.
What?
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Anyway.
That reminds me of that meme where they're like, Shakespeare invented the word elbow and like somebody's reading one of his plays and like, what's an elbow? You know, the bendy bit. Like, it's just like
I've never seen that, but that's hilarious.
Love it.
Well, it's such a good meme. Oh my God. Tumblr was the best. Anyways.
Elbow.
Oh shit. You're right. Look at that shit.
These people are arguing against me on science and facts, and they don't even know why they call it an elbow.
Sorry, I got distracted. Do you wait? Do you know the actual reason? Because I'm just assuming like this because you have this.
Yeah, that is the reason. But we learned that in primary school, homie.
I didn't learn that shit.
Come on.
We didn't learn it in primary. We didn't learn that America, shit. Claire.
All right, why don't you go take your fucking fancy school system? You two need to stop
getting on your high horses when I give you facts.
We'll get on our high horses for as much as we want, goddammit. It's our high horses.
All we know.
Damn America.
This is an elbow. That's it. That's all they told us. This is an elbow. And we didn't question that shit. We were like, okay, that's an elbow.
And it burst.
Yeah.
And it's like a bow because you're like, Anyway.
Wow.
Sorry, Claire. I'm sorry, all right? Listen, we are the country that is, hey, do as we say, not as we do.
Not as we do.
And then 2, we're regurgitating facts to you, not teaching you about where they come from or why or how you should know the information.
That is America.
Me and Logan are doing our best.
Yes.
I'm fighting for my fuck.
Bro, he was so intense he froze.
Sorry, we can't keep quoting R. Kelly. Yeah, I know, right? I was like, the fuck.
Anyways, what I'm saying is the reason why I'm saying children are like, I equate children to life, at least in this instance, is because children are new life. Like, you look at.
Wait,
Logan.
That's
super literal.
Logan, no, but wait, Claire, before you proceed, though, me and Claire said, how does children equate to living, not life, not the all-encompassing term life.
Well, that's
equate
how
to living.
Well, that's how I look at living, though.
Well, like, I realize that for you, but it's like.
Well, that's what I'm explaining because, like, in my opinion, at least, is that like that is life, that is living. Like part of like I think children don't necessarily take away from people's lives. I think people say that, but I don't believe that to be true necessarily. So I do feel like
but you ain't have kids, so.
I like kids though. Like I've had cousins and like friends with children and stuff.
It's not okay.
What I'm trying to be like. Well, what I'm saying is, for me at least, is that like, yes, having children might be a hard thing to do. I'm not taking away from people like their like trials and tribulations and like staying up and
Did you say
staying up to like 4 in the morning because like their baby is up.
You said having children might be a hard thing to do is what you said?
No, I was saying it was. Like, no, I didn't say it might be. I was
like, what?
I hope I didn't say it might be. I might have misspoke. But like,
hear it back.
Yeah, I know. I'll hear it later. I'll be like, damn, you did say that.
That's not what you said, bro.
But what I'm saying is that, like, to me, I like kids. So, like, to me, like, kids seem like something that, like, make your life a little better. Like, to me, that I see that. I feel that way. If, like, other people don't feel that way, I'm not going to be the dick to be like, oh, no, like, you got to love children. I get it. Kids are shits. Like, if you don't want to like kids, you don't have to.
I just feel like there's already a lot on the propaganda of have kids or kids are great. Like, I just feel like there's already a whole bunch of people already saying that. Like, as a woman, I get told by strangers that I don't have a long time. Like, I don't have a lot longer. I'm sorry, I'm really angry. Like, when I get frustrated, my brain just malfunctions like a freaking.
We're here for you.
Like, I can't.
Yeah, we got you.
Take your time, Claire.
Take your time. Speak your mind.
Oh, you guys. But yeah, I get told by strangers that I don't have a lot of time left and that my biological clock is ticking and that I need to have these babies before.
Yeah, for real.
You know what? I decided this about 5 years ago, and I didn't get to it when you asked me if we were going to have kids because I've been struggling with that question for a very long time. You are not the first person to have asked me that. But I decided I'm going to adopt a child. If I'm going to have a child, I'm not actually going to have a biological child.
That's also still awesome.
Because I think there are enough children in this world without bringing more in. I think there are enough kids who don't have homes and families to love them without adding more to the population,
Right.
So if I end up 40 and mentally stable and financially stable, that is what I'm going to do. But I'm guessing 40 as a ballpark because right now I'm 26 and it ain't looking good. So give or take like 13 years. Give me some time.
We'll see what happens.
That's what I'm planning to do. And I feel like I get shit for that as well. Not by you guys, obviously. You guys are wonderful. But in life, like by other people who believe that it's their business, I get shit for that because, it's all the pressure on having your own biological children. And I think that's what I'm fighting against when Logan's like, it's good. Like, I'm not fighting against Logan. I'm being the other side on the podcast. It's like, well, maybe that doesn't always have to be the option. And maybe you should think about the fact, like, if you don't care that the world is ending and your child is only going to live 40 years, good for you. But but maybe you should think about that, though. Maybe you should take it on. Maybe you don't need to take on all my harshness and my nihilism, but maybe you should think about the facts I'm giving you and compare them to what Logan's saying. Like Mitchell was saying, give us both the studies. I don't have the study, but you can Google it. It's pretty
I just got cited. First sight on the show. Just saying.
I think about it, and I think I'm just like, I don't know if I'm optimistic about the future, but I do know that I am trying to become a better human, and I'm trying to at least have a family that are also better humans. You know what I mean? So, like, in my estimation, that's not a negative to, like, a future where, like, the planet is dying. Maybe my family helps. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think you should have, because, like, really, if people who really care about the planet stop fucking, like, the people who aren't going to stop fucking are the people who don't give a shit about the planet. Like, they really have never stopped. They're fucking the planet up, and they're like, you know what? I don't believe that I am fucking the planet up, so why should I stop fucking? And so, like, like, not only is the planet dying, but, or at least dying for humans, but, like, it's completely defenseless if we're not fucking too. So that's all I'm thinking about when people say stuff like that. That's all I'm saying. Oh man, like, it doesn't make me feel like it just makes me be like, well, now you're just letting us get out fucked. Like, that's all. Like, it's like that's it, basically.
I'm mad you reduced this to that, but
well, it is kind of reductive when you say, like,
I think it's a very simple-minded like thing to say that, like, it's a very American view. No offense, stupid people can have smart children. You know, like, stupid people can have smart children. True. Like, my parents are stupid as shit. Like, my parents weren't smart people. Like, and
yes,
like,
that's
I'm
true.
Messed up, and I'm in the low poverty line, but I'm
the reason why
still out here doing
the reason why people
intelligence
kind of, it's because I think, well, intelligence I don't feel like is a hereditary thing, so which is why stupid people can have, like, smart kids. But
I don't know if I would agree with that last statement.
Well, hold on, just see where I'm going with it. It's just when you're in an environment where people are anti-education or anti-intelligence or anti-that, like, your parents, when your parents are actually the bullies against you, like, reading and shit, like, and you actually go along with it, like, you kind of, like, I know stupid kids, or I knew stupid kids who were dumb, not because they were actually dumb, but just because they didn't read, because, like, they didn't want to meet their own potential because, like, somebody at home was, like, squandering that or making that environment not conducive to their own potential. So, like, that's usually why people say it. Right. You know what I mean? It's not like, I think, like, you know, it's hereditary unless, like, you live in Alabama. But, like, it's not like I think it's, like, hereditary.
Logan.
I'm sorry.
Logan. And then, you know, Claire, it's like Logan will get on us and be like, yo, you will get us canceled. And then he'll just, because, but he'll do it with like light ones. He'll do light ones that he knows. Like, people laugh at, and it's like,
I'm doing no,
it's still not okay, motherfucker. Shut the fuck up. Still not okay. They're not okay, bro. You get mad at me for a Taliban
scream. At least we go hard and we go home. Like, at least we own up to our shit.
You know what I'm saying? But, like, this motherfucker Logan just bastardizes all of Alabama. But no, that's all right. That's okay.
Nah, like, people make fun of Florida. I'm like, have you read a headline from Alabama? Like, the shit that comes out of there is, like, unbelievable.
No, but I've read a headline from Florida, and I feel like
everybody reads a headline from Florida. Everybody reads a headline from Florida.
That's right. You know
There's
what I'm saying?
A reason for that.
Get Galaxy
brained. 4, 3, 2, 1, stand up. You know what I'm saying?
Get Galaxy brained and read some shit about Alabama real quick. You know, go do that. You know why people shit on Florida? Because it's so nice here. Like, if it wasn't nice here, like, people wouldn't shit on it.
Logan, no.
This is ridiculous.
Because I'm thinking. No, think about it.
Logan,
what's worse? Wait. What's worse, Alabama man, like Florida man, or Mississippi man?
There's a Mississippi
Florida man.
No, Florida man is not worse than Mississippi man.
No,
I didn't know there was a Mississippi man.
Wait, hold on. Let me tell you the answer. These two men are the same men. Like,
you can't say, let me tell you the answer. That's not how this game works, Logan.
They are the same person.
I'm just
Florida man and Mississippi man are the same biased person.
As hell.
You can't understand when they speak. They do weird shit. They both hang out with gators. They're the same fucker. The only reason Florida man gets like the flack that he gets is because we have Disney World here and they have a swamp over there. That's the only difference. The only difference.
The swamps in Louisiana.
Don't you guys have a swamp over in Florida as well?
Actually, yeah, that we have an entire like almost
like a marsh,
city,
like a whole bit that's like
the Florida Everglades.
Disneyland sits on top of a swamp, to be honest. Like, and like they clean that shit up so worse.
Well. I feel like that's worse. Like I feel like that's just trash that's got like sparkles on it. Instead of just trash. Like I'm always down for the thing that's more honest about what it is.
Swamps aren't actually like dirty. Like
no, but they are like dangerous. No, they're dangerous.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Like the whole thing could collapse underneath it any second. Like
no. It's Disney. It's not going anywhere. That shit is,
that's the mentality
that shit is in the ground. No, because they got underground shit and like no, that shit is not.
Sinkholes exist, boo.
Well, we'll see in 20 to 40 when the sea elevation.
No, because like Disney World is on top of a swamp, right? But like there's an entire city underneath Disney World. So like I'm pretty sure they like dug underneath. Yeah.
Well, first of all, you need to give all the information before you start.
Let me give all the information before you start.
Didn't know there was an entire city. You wasn't going to do that at all. You wasn't going to mention that shit, bro. There's an entire city underneath Disney World. What are you talking about?
You didn't like.
You guys don't know there's an entire city underneath Disney World?
What is this city you speak of? Is it like a mall city?
It's basically a bunch of workplaces that Disney has.
Is it like on Futurama?
Kind of. That's probably what they're referring to when you talk about. Yeah, it's probably what they're referring to because like there's literally like tunnels and access systems and like offices and all types of shit underneath Disney World.
I don't want to go to Disneyland. I want to go down there.
You want to go down there? Just go work for Disney. Just go work for Disney World.
Just like.
Yeah.
Back on the kids, I think, right? But then we're talking about Disney World, so I guess we never got off the kids.
It's just like, what are we doing?
But it's nothing against children. Mm-hmm. It's just that, like, when I think of living, I also because we were once children too. Our lives didn't stop mattering. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, so I just don't think about it in that aspect. Because when I think about children, it isn't just about life. Because, of course, they have a life, but it's about the future. That's the aspect that I really chime into when I think about kids. It isn't like, oh, man, it's such beautiful life. Like, yeah, that's awesome. But it's like, oh, wow, this is new hope. This is a potential for a bright future here.
That's how I feel.
Future scholarship. Oh, God, I can't believe I did that. But anyway... bright futures.
But that's how I feel about it, you know? It's like, you know.
I know, but it's still because don't get me wrong. And it isn't even just about the crash course because, like, it's like, sure, I could build, as I said, sure, I can have children and I know they would grow up wanting to do better for the world, at least I hope. But it's also still like, because I look at how I grew up and who I am, and that's where my problem starts. Because it's like, shit. These children are going to be descended from me, meaning half of the genetic material is going to come from me.
I find that thrilling. I love that. I'm a very
intense person. Don't get me wrong. I think that would be good if we didn't exist in the world we exist in. Because either they're going to grow up to have serious issues or be fucking terrorists. I won't be ashamed of them regardless. I'm just saying, like...
It's kind of funny you say that because that's kind of how this conversation started, and that's what you and Claire were kind of talking about at the beginning. But like, to me, I feel like I said before, I feel like we're here for a reason. And I feel like you're here to play whatever role you're here to play while you're here. Right. So like, I also feel that like, you know, if you guys say like, I'm too intense and I don't know if I want to pass that on to somebody else and stuff like that. It's like, what if we need that intensity when you're gone? You know what I mean?
That isn't my child's responsibility to carry on my legacy.
And then the other thing is sometimes maybe the kid won't be as intense as you. You know, there is another half to that child too. You know,
there is multiple things that can happen. It's just I have to be willing to take that risk, and the risk that I'm taking isn't about me. That's my thing. It's not that I'm worried about myself. The risk that I'm taking is on this child's future who deserves better.
Right.
And that, for me, that just fucks with me. Now, if it comes down to it, I'm not afraid to have a child. It's just that I'm just like, fuck, what am I really going to tell my son or daughter? I look at my relationship between me and my father, and, I have a good relationship with my mom as well, of course, but it's me and my dad who, like, really have, like, an intense discussion, and I'll really, like, be like, yo, let me pick his brain, what's going on, because he's taught me some amazing lessons. And it's just like, I am obviously going to pass it on to my child, like, 2 to 10-fold when I look at what my dad's done to me to make me this person. And it's just like, what am I going to tell him or her? You know what I mean? Oh God, if it's her, that's one scary, you don't see, you laugh, but to me, it's not even fair. It's
you scared of having a girl?
It's not about, once again, it's not about being scared of having children. It's about what am I risking?
What are you risking?
It's hard being a woman. It's hard being a young girl. Now you're a young girl raised by me, living in a world built to tear down young women with exuberance.
But you're nice, so like, what's the problem?
I'm a man.
So
I ain't had to deal with as much as a woman have to deal with.
What type of Mad Max situation? Like, why are you a single father in all your like scenarios? Like,
well, I wasn't saying I was a single parent.
You're I'm a man, like somebody else don't exist. Like,
but no, in terms of like, I'm having a daughter, and it's like, she's going to be going through almost half, and I just, I hope I don't end up fucking up, but I hope I've chosen a great mother for my children, both of them.
I want to have girls. I want to have girls. No, I want to have boys too, but I've always thought about having girls. Like,
I'm not more than I've
thought about having
girls
boys
at all. It's just like I look at the world around us, which is getting a lot better than it used to be. But then I see in some ways how shit could be a little bit worse, and it's just like, yo, like now I'm risking your safety from jump. And a world that still doesn't understand how to properly respect you. No, it's not you're
risking somebody's safety. Like, you have a child, you protect that child. Then you grow that child up so you teach it how to protect itself and how to do right in the world. That's it. This is the same shit we go through. It's the same shit. It's no better, no worse. Like, every generation does this bullshit. And I talk about, like, every 5 episodes, like, we all do this bullshit where it's like, oh, our generation has to go through this, but we didn't have to go through that, and they didn't have to do this, and our generation is better. Because it's not. It's all the same shit. Everybody's doing the same fucked up shit. Everybody's fucking. Everybody's doing drugs. Everybody's, like, cussing. Everybody's doing the same exact bullshit every generation. It's no different.
Context. With different context.
With different context, sure. But it's like they like so many of the same problems they had in the 60s we have right now. It's like it's the same ideological battles and shit. It's like, come on. Like, just it's not that big of a deal, I feel like. Just get through your day, do the right thing, and then like do the best you can. Like, everybody's just doing the best they can. And for us to like put our noses up at somebody because like you're a Gen Zer, like you're a boomer, you should have fixed this shit. Like they're gonna say the same shit about us in 30 years. Like, we should have fixed whatever shit. And I'm gonna be like, fuck you. I voted for Obama that one time. Like, you know what? It was like, it's like or I'll be like, you know what, you're 20, fuck you, I don't care what you say. Like, you know what I mean? I'm 50 now. Like, do I give a shit what you say?
The world up. Yeah, I know. We noticed that shit back then too.
Yeah, but like we all have oxygen tanks on now because like, because we can't breathe the air.
Oh, what, you think I wanted this? Motherfucker, I'm 65 with your 20-year-old lungs.
And then the kid's like
I'd be like, it's your generation hogging up all the good oxygen. That's why they got to raise the price of oxygen. I ask more for Medicaid for my oxygen because of you fuckers.
and then unfortunately, depending on how things go, he's just be like, yeah, well, at least you have an actual working pair of lungs, Grandpa. Our shit's synthetically made, and I don't know what it's like to actually breathe on my own.
I'd be like, well, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, my bad.
You know what, young blood? Yeah, that is tough. My fault, man. You know what? Here's a little bit of my oxygen. There you go.
I think about being old and like rap music. Like,
God.
Bumping like being in the assisted living place and like bumping like like trap music and like King Von and shit. Like,
it's gonna be a completely different life. It's gonna be so great.
Like, so and the best part is like we'll be like old, right? And like the music will be like about murdering and drugs and shit, and it'd be great, right? Because like it won't be like not normal. It'd be like old shit. So like the music they have is gonna be like 50 times worse than that shit. so it's like our shit will be the clean shit.
Oh man, you don't know that. There might be like a purity boom in the next 10 years. People are like, yo, we've really done strayed and are really fucked up. Let's clean things up, guy. And there's an entire generation of music that's just like, I love you again.
Yes.
We can all be friends forever.
I'm just old as shit. I'll be like, what is this shit?
Yo, motherfucker, this ain't got no bump to it. Fuck y'all young is doing.
I'm like, nah, put this shit on. Grandpa,
I need to hear a fuck, goddamn.
It'd be like,
I miss my bitches.
This music's so misogynistic and it's talking about murder. How could you listen to this?
Yeah, well, your mama used to like it when I smacked the ass to this, so you gonna shut the fuck up and take that, son. With my little cane, just like, yeah, how you like that, young blood? Oh, that is the only thing I'm excited about and actually getting in my old age. To be older is be like, yo, listen, young blood. Like, yo, come on over here, yo. I can't, yo. Only reason I will be
young
excited.
Blood people to death. Like,
if I make it to 50, because I don't know with the way I live life and how I will eventually probably be living life. Yo, I'm out here at 50. I can't wait to just kill young blood. Be like, hey, young blood.
Young blood?
Like,
let me
gender neutral. Gender neutral, mind you. Little girl gonna be walking, yo, hey, young blood. You're like, I'm a girl. It's like, the fuck that mean, young blood? Come on over here.
You young, you got blood.
Let me talk to you, young blood. Yo, bro. Like, come over here, young blood. Like, hold on, man. Bro, that's the only thing I'm excited. Because it just don't feel right trying to do that to like a little kid now.
If me and Mitch live in New York forever, and I get old with Mitch, and he's like young blood this, young blood that, I'm gonna be the old. He's gonna be that old black man, but I'm gonna be the old black man that's like playing checkers behind him, be like,
Just like give him the evil eye real quick. Like, only thing I'm excited for though, bro. That
doesn't add shit to the conversation. Just,
and just a little chuckle, quick shoulder, little bump, and then
You guys are cute.
What's gonna be your old person phrase, or do you not have one?
Yeah, what are you gonna do when you're old?
I don't know. I'm white. Not be racist. I'll work it out myself.
Oh, that's a good one though. Oh, geez, yeah. Not let the age be like, you know what? Fuck all this bullshit. I just hate people again. Be like, nah, that ain't me. That's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you can call people Skipper.
Get more peaceful when I'm.
Just say like, hey, Skip.
I would love to be like.
In terms of diggers. Sorry.
Diggers.
I was what? I don't know if I should continue or like figure out what you're saying.
No, I want to hear that shit. So, she says Australia in terms of diggers.
What are diggers?
So digger happened because that's what we did in the war. We were really good at digging trenches and doing the underground sneak attack. So that was sort of what happened.
You're Diglett.
So older people get.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because she could be Sandshrew. You know what I mean?
God
There's
damn.
plenty of ground.
You millennial ass motherfuckers.
Cubone's a ground type. Cubone's a ground type. She could have been Cubone, which you knew she liked. We just had the conversation. You
Diglett.
Fucked up. Of course.
Just a nation of
Diglett.
Diglets.
Well, Diglett's still respectable.
You know, fuck you. Don't disrespect my.
I love Diglett. What the fuck is underneath Diglett? What the fuck is underneath Diglett? How does he actually dig? Because he's not just that nub.
He's supposed to just. He's supposed to be based off a mole. But I think it kind of is.
That nub.
He might be though.
Word nub.
When you think about it,
gross.
Right? Yeah.
So gross.
I don't know what's wrong with you right now. When you think about it, though, he kind of is. Him and Doug Trio, they're kind of just nubs. You've never seen a Diglett.
A nub can't dig. So how does he Digging.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Let's get back to my original point.
do you make the rules of the Pokemon universe?
Oh my god, do they have arms under there or something?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like thinking like they got like some type of roots or some shit. Yeah. It's like
you will never know because it's never been explained.
Imagine just like feet digging. Or like some scary ass fucking claws just like working too fast.
If you don't know what I'm talking about and you don't know what Pokemon are, go Google Diglett right now so you can like laugh at this conversation. Google what a Diglett is.
Diglettt.
Yeah.
Diglett.
Google what a Diglett is. And then imagine what the fuck is underneath the ground of this nub. Like,
is it just more nubs?
No one ever picked up a Diglett either. You never see, because you could hug a Geodude, you know what I'm saying? But you never
That's what I don't understand about certain
Pokemon.
Certain Pokemon are like environment based. You know what I mean? Like Diglett, you like when you zap him with a Pokeball and you put him in, like what's
everything
happening?
Goes in and you never see.
And then when you throw him back out,
he's back in the ground. Like
just like that.
Just like
That's
that.
how Diglett exists.
That doesn't make any sense. Or does he have like his own patch, like a potted plant? Like
to be honest, I'm just assuming Diglett like vibrates its body at a speed that allows it to dig and like flow through ground.
Listen, do not
say it's just a vibrating nub.
Do not say that Diglett vibrates because
Claire, you did that. You did that, not me.
No,
and you Logan, you're helping her do it. I didn't do
you
anything but try to scientifically explain how Diglett
I just
works.
put words together. I just combined words that you said.
The one Pokemon that looks like a penis popping up and down the ground. Like you had to say it vibrates too. There will be
screw washing machines. Let's sit on that.
All I'm saying is this podcast did it.
Whoa. Stop it.
Sorry.
I am gonna be so mad if I see like a Diglett vibrator because this podcast had it first. Put respect on our name.
No, sue that. Trademark this shit.
I would sue them people. I would sue them people.
What can you legally say? Just like I legally trademark vibrating Diglett as a property.
Diglett, even though it's by Pokemon.
No, don't say that though, because if it's already trademarked, we'll get sued.
But the Diglett vibrator isn't.
In fact, the Diglett vibrator is. Oh shit! Yeah,
you don't know that
right,
for actual
actually.
facts. Like, let's be careful.
I'm not gonna look up Diglett vibrator for somebody.
I'm doing it now.
I will.
I'll do it. Oh no, you're gonna do it. I was gonna do it first.
Yeah. Oh, okay, we're gonna be.
But in incognito mode because I don't want that in my search history. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it real.
Okay. So you can get Pokemon vibrators and you can get a Squirtle vibrator.
Whoa.
But
shouldn't that be like shouldn't Squirtle be Squirtle shouldn't be a vibrator. Shouldn't he be like
the Pikachu butt plug?
Wait, move it over so I can see. I can't see that.
Wait,
oh my god.
Wait, I'm still searching.
Keep moving it this way.
Oh no. Oh wait, no, that'd probably be enjoyable.
Wait, what'd you say, Mitch?
It'd probably be enjoyable. I didn't mean for myself.
I don't know if that's not what you meant.
Who's putting these unicorns up their fucking clacker? I don't get this.
I wouldn't know, but
I think
I imagine
the sensation.
Yeah,
the twisty.
Oh yeah, but it's okay when you say it.
Oh, these things are intense.
I'm just like, yo,
check out these things.
No, because you said that would be enjoyable.
Like that.
Well, but I didn't mean like for me. I meant for like if you're into that.
What is that?
It's a squid squirter. Not my words.
Squid squirter. Well then.
One day we gotta do kinks on this show because that's
interesting. Yeah, I'd be down for that. I don't really get into kinks much because I'm not like super kinky, but
you have kinks, Mitch?
Not really. Yeah, not really. I like to have like really great sex, of course. So like positions, and I want to eventually learn like the Kama Sutra because that'd be great. But other than that, I don't really have like a kink per se. I'm not like into feet. I think I'd be super fucking into like cosplay sex though, because how could you not? So maybe there's that. But
so anyway, it doesn't sound like a vibrator.
Sorry. Yeah.
Do we want to talk about what's going on in Afghanistan?
I don't,
because I feel like
know.
everybody's talked about it to death at this point, and like everybody's like, they should have fought better, or like some like stupid shit, like, and it's just like
there is a call to arms to, and like this, I feel so bad because I know that no president, no prime minister, nobody is going to do this, especially not Australia. But there is a call for getting out Afghanistan refugees from Afghanistan and like saving them before everything gets like basically worse. You know what I mean? Like, you know how it's heading somewhere, like until it heads there.
Like, it's bad. Like, it's pretty bad right now, but yeah.
No, I know, but it's escalating, and there's a call to get out the Afghanistan.
Okay,
you don't know what's going on?
Mitch is right.
I've been purposely
for people
not
who
reading.
Don't know.
Oh, okay.
At this point, if you're like some of the members here and you live under a rock, that's completely fine. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. That's what I'm saying. It's not a bad thing. You can live under your rock, Mitch. It's fine.
I'm not going to cuss you out.
It's cozy under the rock. I get it. It's cozy. But if you live under there, right, and you don't know what's going on up here, what happened is a couple of days ago, the Taliban took over the government of Afghanistan. Now, this happens.
What?
Yeah. They
took it over.
Yeah, they took that shit back. They said, that shit's ours now.
Like, there is death in the streets. Like,
now this happened.
Oh my
now this
God.
happened just a couple of less than a week.
That's why I didn't want to read
less
it.
than a
It was
week
only like 5 days ago.
after the U.S. made their withdrawal from the country. So the United States withdrew from Afghanistan, and all but the airport in Kabul is where they haven't withdrawn yet. So like we have like 4,500 troops still there at the airport, but guarding the airport so people can fly away and stuff, you know. But people are trying to flee the country because the Taliban have basically retaken over the country again.
And
now.
that's bad.
This has happened because last year the Trump administration made a deal with the Taliban, basically that they would withdraw from the country. Yeah. Anyways, it's really because America has been weary of the war in Afghanistan, whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, it doesn't really matter. People don't want to keep seeing boys dying in Afghanistan for no fucking reason. Now, for America, no fucking reason means that we don't want to see people dying for stupid reasons like, I don't know, the military-industrial complex, just people making money off of war, basically. Like, we don't want to see a perpetual war just because of that. And that's really how it's framed to us and how it's been framed to us. And so politicians for the last, I don't know how many years, have been promising that they would stop this war or get us out of this place that we don't really need to be in the first place. However, because we left and it's leaving a power vacuum, it leaves room for an organization like the Taliban to retake over the country again. You know, so the unintended consequence is that a regime like the Taliban can take over and become the new regime again. And then, you know, all the oppressive things that the Taliban used to institute on its people, and the fact that they will have like some type of legitimacy as a country, and the fact that they also help plot terrorist attacks around the world is something that is a concern to everybody, and is also a concern to the people who actually fucking live there. You know what I mean? So at this point, everybody, I feel like they're in some type of weird limbo where they don't really know where to put their opinion about the shit. Because when it comes to like, oh, I feel so bad about like, you know, all the women that have to live under this deeply misogynistic regime that's saying that, you know, women can't go to fucking school, you know, things like light shit like that because of, you know, whatever type of extremism they believe in, that it's like, okay, well, do you want the troops to go back? It's like, no, definitely not that. So it's like on one hand, okay, you don't want that, but then what do you want? Well, we just kind of want the Taliban to not be there anymore. And it's like, well, how is that supposed to happen? Well, the Afghanis should have like fought harder. And it was like, okay, but we trained them. And it's like, yeah, we didn't do that great of a job training them, even though we were there for like 20 years. And then so it's like I read this article from this person who was there, and it was like, you know, this podcast has been talking about capitalism and stuff. And when I read like how they were training and why the training was such a failure, is because America doesn't know it, but America is really running off of a great military because of the fact that of like laws and like, I guess, regulations and like principles and like philosophies about our military that are set up long before the point where we are right now. And so like when we go to set up somebody else's country, what it felt like to me when I was reading up on this subject is that like we kind of set up other people's countries the same way our fucked up society is now, which is like kind of half-assed, which is like,
that's
you know, like I need to prove to my boss that I did A, B, and C. So I just need to make sure that A, B, and C boxes checked on this thing and this thing and that thing. Not necessarily that the work itself had any value or meaning. And so when you translate that into military terms, that translates into people not actually learning what the fuck they're supposed to do in certain situations. Like the Afghanistan country has, that was a weird way to say that. Like Afghanistan as a country has like a national police force. Well, what the Americans could have done during that time was consult with other countries, like other European countries that also have a national police force, because America doesn't have a national police force. We have local police forces. So we don't know shit all about national police forces. So we're just training these cops like regular cops. And that's not how it works. And so because that's not
probably not for the best either.
No, it wouldn't be for the best. And because that's not how it works, it didn't work out there. So they like a police force is really your first defense against like domestic terrorism because they're local. Right. They're the first people there, right?
Yeah.
But then like your last step should be the army. But because that force wasn't trained well, the military wasn't trained well either. So it's like because you didn't have, because, well, not that doesn't correlate. Because the police force wasn't trained well, that leaves your last line of defense to be your military, right? Which that's what you want as your last. And so if you're not training that well, and then you're not training the military well, then what ends up happening is what we saw last week, which is like you get overrun in like 2 months. Now people like they fought bravely and shit, but like they still fucking lost, you know? And so that's where we find ourselves now. And so whether we like it or not, this is the new government of Afghanistan. Now, on the bright side, I guess you could say is some people might think that this won't last too long because the Taliban at this point are kind of like the kid that nobody likes. And like nobody likes to see that kid win, right? And so when that kid wins, we kind of all just live with it, but we don't live with him. You know what I mean? So it's like they're in this world, but like how much will we allow them to participate? And whether or not that makes the problem worse or better, some people feel like that's, you know, kind of like a plus for people who want to see change because like maybe they won't last that long because like they have like a government that they need to take care of and they're not going to get that money from like much of anybody because nobody wants to trade with the fucking Taliban. You know what I mean? There are like Arab states that might, but like, will they, won't they? Like that's like a bunch of, it's too many maybes in the air. And like, I asked if we wanted to talk about this because I know I'm like catching everybody up and up to speed about it, but I asked if we wanted to talk about it because like, that's pretty much the gist of the thing. And like, nobody knows anything. And not only does nobody know anything, we're just all like making assumptions about what's going to happen. Now the assumptions are like well-based. I give it that. Like it's a good assumption that, you know, like when they say that like they'll let women go to school again and it's like, what will you, you know? So it's like, yeah, I get why everybody's like hesitant about the whole thing. But at the same time, I feel like everybody's talking to talk about the thing. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Shit, bro. That's fucking sucks.
Once again, it's just one of those really complicated, in-depth things that's a reality that people are using to talk about on their social medias. That's just a discussion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really hate when people do that. And we've been doing that for a very long time. Like, it's not just a social media decade, but like people use like in-depth, terrible things that are happening to innocent people as like dinner discussion or like to sound intellectual. Yes. And I hate that, because if you're not fucking doing something about it, or you don't genuinely care and want to know all the information, get the fuck out.
Right, exactly.
Get the fuck out. And that's why I was upset. Like, that's what I was saying about before, about how I was seeing online that a lot of people, like a lot of celebrities and stuff, like in England and America specifically, are calling to people to be like, call your local MP, call your prime minister, hassle the prime minister, hassle the president, get these people out of there, help these innocent people, help these refugees. And I'm like, number one, who are these refugees? Are there actually refugees asking for asylum? Like, are there actually people in need of asylum? Are you referring to the entire country of people that are under the Taliban's rule? Who are you referring to when you're talking about this?
Right.
And then on top of that as well, if we say yes to this during the pandemic, where are they going to go? Who are they going to, are we putting them in the camps? Like, what's the deal? Like, as much as, it's all good and well to be like, yes, we'll get the people out of there and we'll take them to our country and we'll look after them. That's not how it works, unfortunately. We've been having this issue since friggin' 2001 or 2 or whatever it was.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, there was a 2014 issue.
The refugee issue, but yes.
Yeah, the refugee issue since 2014, but the issues with Afghanistan since the early 2000s, we've been having but the refugee, good point, sorry, I got distracted.
No, you're fine.
The refugee incident since 2014 is a nightmare, because in Australia we didn't even deal with that really well, and we still did it better than some other countries. Not trying to name names, but you know what I mean. We still did better. We did one of the best. We had one of the best situations going, where people were stuck in a refugee camp for 6 months. They're still stuck there for 6 months. Yeah. And that was one of the best outcomes that in a world that Western countries could make up for. You know what I mean? So it's unrealistic discussions about a really serious topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no backup information. There's no links to information. It's just, let's get these guys out. Let's refugee them. Okay, cool. But who are they? Are they requesting asylum? Obviously, they're requesting assistance. Obviously, they want help. That much I could work out on my own, thanks. But, you know what I mean? So I just hate it. I hate the glazed over topics. I hate the really important, serious life or death. It happens a lot with North Korea as well. They're like, Kim Jong-un, ha ha ha. No, not ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
they
take
a dictator, motherfucker.
They take an impossible situation, an actual impossible situation, and then kind of throw their hands up about it, and then say we should do this or we should do that, and it's I know you want to help somebody, but sometimes I feel do you want to help somebody, or is it just you're trying to get on with your organization, or what do you actually want to do? Yeah. And is it actually helping? Because it's the same situation with Haiti and the earthquake right now. It's I get so tired of discussions about Haiti, because it's always the same discussion. It's I was listening to the news when they were talking about Haiti, and they were he was it wasn't even he was talking about the situation. He was just talking about all the horrible shit that happens in Haiti, in a list. And he's and they had an earthquake. And it's just what? That's
not helpful.
What is this? Is
it's not
this
even informative.
It is. It's it's like porn. It's like you're just doing trauma porn is what you're doing. You know,
That's a good point.
You're just taking somebody's suffering and being like, oh, look how much they're suffering. And like, so other people can like what, feel better? I'm supposed to feel better about like my life and shit. Like, cause I don't. Like, so like what is it we're accomplishing here? Like, I know that we should like be keyed into events that are happening around the world, but should we be keyed in so that like we actually do something about it, or so that we can be in the know? Or is it just like we're just using it as like our own clickbait around the office? Like, what the fuck? I hate it.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it's just gross at this point.
I'm a firm believer that I can only do so much. You know, I can do what I can do. And if I can't do that, I can't make any promises. So, you know, I might seem, you know, not in the know or not intelligent or not caring on social media because I don't talk about it. Like, this is the first time I talk about it. I've known about it for a while, but for as long as it's been happening, not a while, but like a couple of days. But I haven't said anything because there's nothing I can do. But if it does end up happening that asylum seekers come to Australia and they get passed through and they need places to stay, or they call upon Australians to let them into their homes, I'll do that. Right. Like, I'll do my part. But that's in a situation where I have facts, I have like stuff at my disposal, and I have the ability to help. You know what I mean? So it's like, what matters more? I think what matters more is when you're actually doing something about it rather than talking about it. You know what I mean? You talking about it isn't helping anything. You don't look intelligent. Honestly, you look like a fucking moron to me. And I really don't, like, it makes my respect for you drop 10 times harder.
Right.
Like, obviously, there are some celebrities and stuff out there who feel like they are pressured to talk about it because if they don't talk about it, then, you know, that reflects bad on their public image. But then you got to think about, if that's the only reason why you're talking about it, what kind of person are you? Like,
yeah, like, you know, I don't need Mark Ruffalo talking about all like every horrible thing that happens in the world. Like, Mark, you can just be the Hulk. Like, you don't have to like tell me like every time something horrible happens.
Ignore your PR team. They are annoying.
Like, why are you looking for Mark Ruffalo to be your guiding light? Like, really? Yeah.
He's such a nice guy.
He is, but really, is he like the John Connor like that we need? Like, is he gonna fix it? Like, leave Mark alone.
Why he gotta be John Connor?
I get so tired of like celebrity worship sometimes. Like, what do you like? He should say something. Why? He plays a fiction.
That's like not his profession.
He plays a 10-foot green giant. Like, in a, like that's his job. Like, it's a great job, but that's what he does. He's not a philosopher or like, you know what? He doesn't do that. Why do you need him to do that?
Share like actual, like, they don't share any not-for-profits, like donate money to the Afghanistan like refugee fund or anything. Like, not that exists. If that existed, I would actually put the link in the bio, but I don't think that exists. But like, they don't have any non-for-profits like that where they like link those in any bios or like share those or anything. No, they're just literally sharing information, which is technically propaganda.
Yeah, and they share information. Yeah, and sometimes it's wrong information. And so because they have like 1 million followers or whatever, now 1 billion people have like the wrong fucking information because somebody like, I don't know, like Mark Ruffalo or somebody like retweeted some shit that's not even true. And it's just like the worst. It's like, you don't have to. We can not.
You don't have to, all right? Just stop, please.
Yeah, we could just not.
Just keep playing the Hulk. That's good.
Yeah, thanks.
I think that's all I wanted to say on it.
Make 13 going on 32 or some shit, you know? Like,
is that? I don't really actually know about most of Mark Ruffalo's career before the Hulk.
Yeah, like he did mostly like rom-coms and shit, you know?
Yeah,
and then like weird like indie movies.
My mom watched all of his like
my mom too. Yeah.
Good actor, yeah. I mean, just love
Yay for our moms. Shut up, Mitch. Anyways.
Yeah,
we should wrap the show up.
I'll be honest, guys.
I did want to sorry.
Yeah, hold on.
You can
do
cool,
that now.
Claire. No, I was just
okay. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say this is the first time and we were having a good show. And this is that damn 9 to 5 cycle, so it all comes full circle. I was dead here sitting, listening to almost everything you said. And I swear to God, I almost dozed off like 3 to 4 times.
Damn.
Mind you, wasn't even tired, fully interested. It was just like, oh my God. I was about to beg Logan, like, Logan, I think
it's time.
I think I'm gonna have to call in the towel. I've never had to do that before. I think I'm gonna have to call in the towel on you.
That's that soul suck, man.
I promise what I'm gonna say is gonna be super quick and super concise.
Cool.
And then we can do our like goodbyes and stuff.
So,
okay?
Do you have anything to say to the people, Claire?
Yes. I just wanted to acknowledge that I've been struggling with my mental health a lot, and I wanted to apologize to any listeners who listened to the last episode and noticed something was off with me. If you didn't notice, cool, don't notice. Love you. But if you did notice, I just wanted to apologize for that. I just want to clarify that to make sure that everybody is doing... When you want to do your part, you do your part with intelligence and integrity. Make sure you source your... I know I don't source on the podcast, but like at the same time, you should source if you're sharing, especially if you're someone who has a large following. And also take your meds, kids, drink your water, just go out in the sun, and do your best to get through it. I love you all. Thank you for listening. That was
all right. I like it. Mitch, did you have anything you wanted to say to the people?
Get up, stand up for your rights. Stand up, get up.
Okay.
Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up for your rights.
Hey.
Stand up, get up. Don't give up the fight.
This is such a poor representation of like the music you actually make. Like,
I know, right?
I know it's not so funny, but that wasn't the point. It wasn't about me.
All right,
it was about the truth.
Maybe you should start making more stuff about you then. Like go back to that.
I'll do it when I feel like it.
Don't pressure him. Let him have his Sundays.
You're right.
Thank you. They're nice.
I did have something I wanted to close on before I got out of here. I actually wrote something down this morning, and I just wanted to share it with people. No, I wrote it down. I didn't know if I was going to share it on the podcast, but it goes really well with everything we said. So I wrote it's just a paragraph, but just some thoughts I had. I wrote down
with feeling.
With feeling? Oh shit! Don't put that pressure on me. I wrote, "Do not become unsure of your path just because others are unsure of theirs. Your path, your story is yours and no one else's. Your plans will sound irrational to the people around you, but they sound rational completely to you and terrifying to others because that is not their world. It's yours. So be okay with that." And so that's kind of the message I kind of wanted to leave people with. Because a lot of the time, like we were talking about creative pursuits earlier, you have like a creative idea or just a fucking idea, period. And it sounds crazy to everybody else. But I'm trying to let you guys know that it's supposed to. It's supposed to sound crazy to everybody else because the culmination of whatever was going on in your life to get you to that idea is your path. Like, that's why it doesn't sound crazy to you, because you've done everything leading up to that point. Now, nobody else has done that shit. Like, think about that. Nobody else has done what you've done to get to your creative pursuit. Nobody else has done the work or the non-work or lived the experiences that you've lived. Or like, if you have like a plan for like a business or whatever, nobody else knows what you're doing. Like, nobody else has been there. So if you just drop on somebody that you're going to be the next hot dog king or whatever it is, like, that sounds stupid, right? It's going to sound stupid to everybody else because they don't know that you probably for your whole life have been making hot dogs and you found out the perfect way to make one. And so sometimes we know in ourselves that we have the formula. We have the goods to do what it is we want to do. But because other people doubt us, we let that go. And we let like actual diamonds and gold go because somebody else told us that it doesn't exist when you have it in your hands. So I just wanted to leave people with that. I was thinking about that this morning, and it was just on my heart, and I thought about sharing that with the rest of you because I've gone through that same thing, and I just thought, just believe in yourself in that way. Like you've already gotten to this point. Don't give up and keep going. That's where I'm going to end it. Like we always say, please share the show. Please share it amongst your friends. If you got anything out of it, share it amongst your friends. If you didn't get anything out of it and you think the show's trash, share it with your enemies. Why not? I mean, that's like the best thing to do, right? Matter of fact, if don't just stop, right? If you think the show is horrible, subscribe to the show. Don't listen to the show, but send it to your enemies every time. Just keep sharing it to them every year, every week. I mean, just keep sending it and sending it and sending it. Just the same show, because maybe they'll like it, and if or maybe they'll hate it. Maybe they're just like you.
Maybe we're all the same.
Maybe we're all the
same. We're not.
Oh wow, we got Mitch to say that shit. Wow,
we're not.
Times is changing. Anyways, say bye to the people, Mitch.
Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions. Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions. Change into digital champions to save the digital world. Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions. Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions.
Thank you for that.
Digimon are the champions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for that.
I do the best that I can. You're very welcome.
I keep remembering that after a whole goddamn show, my man.
Yo,
I'm my God.
I'm just saying, I'm real.
I've never loved you more or hated you more at the exact same time.
Right? Yo, when he hit that break, I had to join in, though.
I knew the break was going to get... Because all right, I'm going to go a little extra. Just a little bit. Not too much because I want to show out. But I was like, I'm going to go a little extra because you have to for that part.
Yeah.
You have to. That motherfucker flexed, by the way.
Yeah.
Damn.
That shit hit. I was like, ooh. Bro, I was like, can I get in on this?
Okay, bro, fucking slapped.
All right. Let's get out of here. Claire, say bye to the people.
Bye, guys.
I'm your host, Logan, and this has been the Milk and Toast podcast. And we out. Bye.
Bye.